Hello friends, Jared back again with a video on my Imperial fists. I have been crazy busy, but I have found some time to start painting these guys, and I have roughly 500 points, or just under 500 points of Imperial fists painted. It took a couple tries to get a paint scheme I like. I've been busy with life, but I have gotten some guys painted, including the Brutalis Dreadnought right here, and I have to say, this guy has been one of my favorite things I've painted in a long time. He's got the movable gun, his arms move, but he is quite the challenge and quite the project, but a really, really rewarding thing to paint. So really happy with how he came out, really happy with all the little details on him, and he is a big dude. And then I have a captain and a lieutenant. I believe it's captain, lieutenant, but I might have it the other way around. Yeah. Captain has the observer, and then the lieutenant, he's still on a Gatorade lid. I haven't put him on his base yet because I haven't decided exactly what I want to do on his base. This guy already has a tiny tactical rock, so he's already on his base. But this guy will get his base here pretty soon. And then I haven't put the magnets on the bases yet either, so got to do that. Note to self and reminder. And then I'm still touching him up just a little bit. I have to say, Imperial Fists use several of my least favorite paint. Yellows and reds are very difficult to get really clean, and so overall I'm happy with them. I really like this bright yellow saturation. I am happy with the final color, but very difficult to paint in terms of the two major colors, and so I have strongly suspect this is one of those armies that I'm going to look at every so often and notice, oh, that's a little bit off, and then take a brush and just tap, 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 and pick out tiny mistakes just because they annoy me. I can already see three things that I'm like, you know what? I want to take 5 seconds and fix that. But if I spend 5 seconds fixing it, I'd be up all night, and then I never make this video. So I'm happy with where it is for now. Probably touch it up as I continue going. But overall, I like the paint scheme. I'm pretty happy with it. And I have the two squads of flamethrower dudes. We got the Infernus squad and the Eradicator squad, which are their kind of heavier big brothers. These guys came out really nice. I went for the lenses. I went for the Sybarite green. That worked out really well, just to give them a little bit of difference. And so I got the flamethrowers. We've got the smaller flamethrower guys from the Hachette magazine, or if I had gotten the starter box, the Leviathan box, I could have got them that way as well too. So I've thought about maybe getting a few more of these guys. I feel like flamethrowers are fairly defensive. I know Salamander's signature weapon is flamethrowers, but I felt like they kind of fit in this theme too. And then the two guys I kit bashed from the extra model and the model of the month using the upgrade sprue, the captain and the lieutenant, both came out really nice too. And then it was after I built and posed them that I realized, you know, sometimes they build the arm with the fist up. So it might have been fun to have this guy with his fist raised instead of them both kind of being in the exact same pose, especially since they got the same loadout. But I'm happy with them, and they came out well. I also made the guy with the silver hair the junior to the guy with the brown hair. So I could have switched that too, I suppose, if I really wanted. But I'm happy with them. I like them. It works out well. Space Marines are all hundreds of years old anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But overall, pretty happy with these dudes. They were challenged to paint, especially because originally I undercoated in pink, and I used a paint by the Army Painter, and it must have sat out or got in the sunlight too long or something happened to it. Normally I love Army Painter. It's no diss on them, but that one bottle of pink did go bad on me, so I did have to chuck that one. And then went back and used up almost all of my Emperor's Children paint, undercoating everything. And I can show you what that looks like because the rest of the army is unfortunately all pink guys right now. So it was black primer to get the shadows, then white dry brush to lighten it up, and then pink dry brush to get the undercoat. And so it's it's a primer and 2 dry brushes to get this paint scheme. And then now I have a shelf of pink Space Marines staring at me, which is good motivation to finish this project. So most of them are looking like this. And then after that, go back in. So Emperor's Children's up first. Then you go in with Averland Sunset. I really like Averland Sunset. It's a little bit darker than I wanted, but in terms of being a yellow that has good coverage, that has kind of an intensity to it, this is a good one. And so then I've got back in with the Averland Sunset. And then the reds are Corn and Mephiston. Got a little combo there. And then black for all the joint bits. Uses standard Abaddon black. And then once that's all done and I'm happy with it and I've touched up like 3 more times, then I'm using Contrast Imperial Fist over that to get this really almost obnoxious bright yellow, really rich yellow. And it shows up great on camera. I'm really happy with that. But love that color. It's got that really rich where it's not a light yellow. See, I don't like this color, the Uriel yellow. This is great for like fire effects maybe and some other armies, but it's the wrong color for these guys. I wanted that really vibrant Imperial Fist yellow. And so you get the brightness from this, but you get the richness from these two. And then just for some shading, I've used a little bit of Reichland. But here's the problem. My Reichland is basically empty. And this is basically empty. So I've got 2 nearly empty paints. And then I want to do the texture paint that is kind of a concrete. I forget what it's called. I don't have that one. I have some of the other texture pastes, and they've been pretty good. But I want to get one that's a lighter kind of concrete texture, because I haven't done concrete yet. And it feels like if there's any army that's going to be a concrete base, it should be these guys. But it is 1 week till Black Friday, so all the hobby shops are going to have paint on sale. So I'm trying to hold out and paint with what I have till the Black Friday sale. So there's at least 2 friendly local game stores, and I expect the third one are all going to have Black Friday sales where it's generally going to be additional off at the register and additional kind of rewards or goodies that you get along with whatever the GW discount is. So it's a really good time of year. One of the best times of year to buy Warhammer is you can try to get the full 15% off, which is the best discount in the US is, plus some extra off at the register or goodies or whatever else it is. And so there's some really good hobby sales. Usually the paint has some kind of extra sale on it, especially the non-GW paint if I want to get some more Army Painter stuff. So lots of good stuff coming in a week and a half. So I'm trying not to shop anymore. That said, if you're on the Hachette magazine and you're in the US, make sure you're checking on their website, because they just put up the orders for all the optional stuff that the UK got. So we now have access to the 2 premium figures, which is the Ultramarine Librarian, Harkon World Claimer, and then, most importantly all, the terrain offer. So you get over $350 of terrain for only $99. So I've already ordered that. I'm so excited about that. It's a good terrain box. It's like a full table of GW terrain for only 99 bucks, which you never see it discounted. It's usually really overpriced. So really excited about that. I was expecting we weren't going to get that offer because the Stormbringer magazine, we didn't get the UK special dish miniatures. This time we do, but instead of them being opt-outs in the magazine run, you just have to order them off the website. And technically, there's no limit to how many you can order. So food for thought on that, but I'm super excited about that. So if you're using Hachette, my tip for you is make sure you check out that terrain deal, because it's online only this time, unlike in the UK where it was an opt-out or an opt-in and you could pay a little extra money and you had to kind of write them or put in a code, I think, to get it. One other thing you might notice is that the special edition mini had a Tyranid head on it. So I was able to test out my Tyranid scheme, which is Luxion purple and Caradhras green. And so I have been going back and forth on if I liked the scheme or not. So this finally let me test, do I like the green with the purple armor scheme? And honestly, I do kind of like it. I do actually really like it. There's a little pink tongue, and then you got the fire coming off his head. I'm pretty happy with this. And so once I start painting Tyranids, which will not be till next year, once I paint Tyranids next year, I probably am going to go with that scheme and keep it going. I do think I do like it, and I'm going to bring in some other colors, some reds and some pinks, but I think that's going to be the base scheme. So that was really nice to have a little testy model on there. One of the fun parts about having dead models on the bases is it lets you test schemes for those armies, and so I was pretty happy with that. That worked out well, but Tyranids are not happening until next year. And the main reason for that is I've got to finish Imperial Fist. I'd love to get that done. I've got about 60 Tau still to go. That shelf is still very, very full, but I'm making progress. I've gotten a huge chunk of that army done, about a third done, but still got 2/3 of that army to go. And then I've also got a small Lumineth army that I'm painting. I painted up the 2 centerpieces, and then the other guys are all starting to work on metallics, and they're coming along. It's the starter box, basically, and then 2 or 3 extra heroes. So that project's kind of chipping away as well. The goal is to be done painting the Age of Sigmar stuff by the end of the year. So that'll be Lumineth, a little bit more Sylvaneth, and then Ogres, because that'll give me roughly 30,000 points. And then I really want to do a 30,000 point, like 50,000 versus 15,000 point game that's a campaign, and do a big series of campaigns, and then maybe even post some of that online, because I think that'd be a really fun little series to watch, and maybe post battle reports of how that goes. I'm not committed to that yet, but ooh, that would be really cool if I can pull it off. I've been writing campaign rules, and so I'm probably going to make a video, if I have time, on how that campaign is going to go and what the campaign rules are going to be. So that's the other thing I'm kind of working on in between painting these yellow boys. But now that I got all the guys pink, except for these guys who are, you know, in the yellow, I think I'm really ready to get these guys done. Oops. These guys were kind of tough to paint with all the with the pink, and then with my first batch of pink going bad, and then I did black pouches for these guys with a white dry brush, and you got to remember to paint all the little tassels. But overall, they're pretty good. One other thing I have to do with them is I still have to do all the decals. So I have 2 sheets from the upgrade, and then I was digging through my box. Unfortunately, I used a bunch of my good ones for my Cities of Sigmar, but I do still have a couple of cool ones left, so I can use this to decorate my Dreadnought. And then I've got like the numbers and the other cool stuff down here to put on the Dreadnought. That'll be cool. And I think, let's see, is there anything on here I can use? Dark Angels, Space Wolves, Blood Angels. I don't see them. No, this one's not going to be very useful then, unfortunately. So this one isn't going to be very useful, but I have these 2, and I have this one, so I have more than enough decals to finish this project. I just need to get the basic material that I actually want to get. And so that's the main thing that I'm still kind of holding out on, is I got to get that. Could use a few more brushes, and then like I said, I'm almost out of pink. I'm almost out of Reikland Flesh Shade. I definitely need more Reikland Flesh Shade before I can finish this project. So I'm holding out, waiting patiently so I can get these paints on sale and save a few bucks, because that is my commitment, is to do these things as affordably as possible, to teach myself patience, to not bite off more than I can chew, even as I've got 3 different armies going right now, and I have a 4th army that I really want to do, and a 5th army behind that one. So that's been really fun. And then hopefully the other project I want to do next year is going to be kind of a bonus project, is I have the Chaplain on Bike and the Chief Librarian from the magazine that I'm going to be putting into my Ultramarine army. And so hopefully I want to go back and touch up the Ultramarines, because they were the first group I painted, so there's a lot of painting mistakes on them. So these guys might need a few touch-ups, but the Ultramarines need a lot of touch-ups. So I want to touch that army up, give it a couple new models, really kind of spruce it up, and then I'll have, between the Imperial Fist and the Ultramarines, they'll be able to tag team 2,000 points against 2,000 points of Tau. The other thing I'm really hoping is I have 9 stealth suits for my poor Tau. And if I can get 1 more stealth suit, then I can have 2 squads of 5s and use the updated rules. But I'd be lying if I had said I wasn't a little bit disappointed about that. That was pretty frustrating, because I got all 9 of those guys painted in 3 different schemes, and it was super aesthetic, and then they broke the rules on that. So that's been super annoying. But generally, stuff for Kill Team tends to be Model of the Month material. And so there's a very, very good chance that the Tau will become the Model of the Month. And so I can get 1 free model, then I'll have 10, 2 squads of 5, and then, you know, all is forgiven. So if I can get 1 more stealth suit and get the new one, that would be amazing. But I'm kind of hoping against hope that the December free model will be a Tau. It'll probably be whatever the Space Marine version is, and I'll have to wait till January. But hopefully December or January, there'll be a free Tau model in there. I can grab that, fix the Tau, or fix up that last Tau stealth suit, and not have to buy one. Otherwise, I'll have to find and source a single stealth suit, which isn't the end of the world. But that's kind of where I am for this project. Hopefully, going to paint some more Imperial Fists, and I'll have another video for you in another week. And then hopefully paint some more Tau and have a video up for them too. And then I would like to start making some more guides as we head into next year. So we got the Christmas stuff going on. My predictions on that were about right. A lot of them sold out immediately. But we'll see what's still on the shelf in a few months. And maybe I'll make a follow-up video to that video. That could be kind of fun too. But overall, I'm doing well. I'm managing to paint some stuff even with all my crazy life stuff. You got to paint a little bit every day. And that's what I do. A few minutes a day or an hour a day or whatever I have in the evening. I always paint almost every single day. And if you do that, you'll finish your army. That's all you got to do. You get better by doing it every day, and you finish by doing it every other day. Or every day. And that's the best strategy. So thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, I appreciate every subscription. Over 150 now, which is pretty awesome. And I appreciate every single one of you. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.